And the head of the IRS taking the hot seat once again to answer questions on Capitol Hill, just after an investigator does what he thought was impossible, recovered 80,000 emails that gentleman said were simply gone forever.
You can blame it on a technical glitch, but it is not a technical glitch to mislead the American people. You say that you've lost the emails, but what you've lost is all credibility. Your letter describes the Lois Lerner emails as being unrecoverable.
Correct.
But fails to mention where the damaged hard drive is today. Do you know where the actual hard drive is that crashed in 2011?
I'm advised the actual hard drive, after it was determined that it was dysfunctional and that with experts no emails could be retrieved, was recycled and destroyed in the normal process.
So was it physically destroyed?
That's my understanding.
Gasps all around when that news was dropped. It turns out that those hard drives may not have been destroyed as the IRS thought. This is a curious story, isn't it? The lawmakers now have some new questions for the head of the IRS, John Koskinen, after the Treasury Inspector General for the Tax Administration recovered 80,000 of those supposedly lost emails during their investigation. And those emails were sent by Lois Lerner and sent around to other associates in the IRS from her and to her. Wisconsin Senator Ron Johnson is one of those who is very curious about what happened here. He's the chairman of the Homeland Security and Government Affairs Committee, and he joins me now. Senator, good morning. You know, we all watched those hearings with great interest, and it was quite clear from John Koskinen that, gee, you know, those emails that we couldn't give to you are just lost, and they were recycled and destroyed and damaged on those hard drives. How'd they find them?
Well, you know, the commissioner said they went to great lengths and extraordinary efforts to find these. And the way they found these emails is they went to the backup tapes. But the IRS didn't go to the backup tapes. The Inspector General seized the backup tapes in June of 2014. And, of course, they reported last November that they thought they found about 30,000 of Lois Lerner's emails. Now, upon further investigations, about 80,000. Now, a lot of those will be duplicate tapes, so we're figuring probably about 16,000 original emails from Lois Lerner. And what you really have to do, Martha, you got to look at the timeline of this entire scandal. You know, the whole IRS targeting began in about February of 2010, right before the election. And of course, it was meant to silence critics of the president. It was meant to shut down donations to some of these outside groups. And the missing emails, of course, blanket that. From January 2009 to about April 2011, when the plot was being hatched, when the plot was being implemented. And, you know, just 20 days after Congressman Jim Jordan started asking questions, that's when Lois Lerner's disk drive crashed. So, you know, as I'm looking through the timeline, as I take a look at this, I smell a rat, Martha. I smell a number of rats, and that's what we're trying to get to the bottom of.
All right, so what happens now? I mean, where's Lois Lerner? It sounds like you think there are about 16,000 potentially substantive emails in that 80,000. When are we going to learn what's in them?
Yeah, we're not sure what's going to be in those. We have to first get those. The Inspector General still going through there and making sure exactly what he's got. You know, there'll be a number of committees of jurisdiction reviewing those emails. We'll probably be working cooperatively together. But what we have to do is we have to piece together this plot. This administration has been completely opaque. But, you know, that's one question. Who was communicating with Lois Lerner? What emails were exchanged with the White House or the Treasury Department? I mean, there are so many unanswered questions, and that's what we're just trying to get to the bottom of.
Yeah, what about John Koskinen? What's his response to the fact that he, you know, under oath in that hearing, said that they had gone to great lengths, as you said, and made extraordinary efforts to find those lost emails, and then the IG gets his hands on them without, it seems like, too much trouble?
Well, it's almost the Alfred E. Newman excuse. What me worry? I mean, the fact of the matter is John Koskinen said they went to these extraordinary efforts to find these things. And obviously he didn't, because his Inspector General, once he seized the backup tapes within a couple months, uncovered 30 and now 80,000 emails. So what we're asking in our letter is, what specifically did the IRS commissioner and, you know, the main IRS do to produce the subpoenaed documents? That's the other problem too, is the House committee was asking for all of Lois Lerner's documents. They weren't getting them initially, which is why they then subpoenaed all of Lois Lerner's documents, but the IRS continued to sort through them to pick and choose which emails they were going to actually supply. And the House Oversight Committee just last December said they've only received about 100 of Lois Lerner's emails from that January 9th to April 2011 date. So there's so many unanswered questions. Like I say, I'm smelling a rat here. We're going to get to the bottom of this.
How long do you think it's going to take before you know what's in those emails?
Well, it'll take us a couple months, I'm sure. We've got to get them from the Inspector General, and 16,000 or actually 80,000. But again, they'll pare those down to the unique emails. 16,000 emails are going to be, it's a lot to go through. But again, we'll be able to sort through those. We'll be looking for keywords, and hopefully we can get to the bottom of this in the next couple months.
Yeah. All right. We need to. Obviously, those documents were subpoenaed, and they should have been produced far prior to this. Senator Ron Johnson, thank you very much.
Have a great day.
You too.